Hey guys, welcome to the Fam Jam team call for Wednesday, February 3rd. It is the first Wednesday of February, and I'm honored to be leading our Fam Jam call today. So I'm going to kick it off with some recognition because I know Jared and Shalene are celebrating Kifton's birthday today. So let's kick it off with some recognition. If you have any recognition or you want to welcome anybody to the team, just take yourself off mute and go for it.
I'm gonna go first this time. Okay, I'm super excited to announce that officially tomorrow, Becca is gonna be Diamond. I am so freaking pumped for you. I'm so excited. Like, honestly, you and your team have just been like working your tails off to make this happen. And I'm so proud of everything that you're building. It is such an incredible milestone in your business. And we're so proud of you.
Yeah.
Also want to shout out Trish, who has locked in her diamond again. This is massive. Like, going in and out of rank happens all the time. And I think we need to normalize it a little bit more than what we kind of do. And so Trish also is probably still exhausted because she has been working so incredibly hard to get her diamond rank back as well. So I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of both of you.
Yeah.
Jared and I literally were just like, it was just so cool yesterday to see both of you be able to lock it in this week. It's just been awesome. So
yeah, and Trish and I have been talking every day, and like I know how hard she has been grinding. So like it is appreciated, and we appreciate everybody on this call. But that being said, with Trish locking it in and Becca locking it in, that also means that Shalene is in 2-star qual, which is huge.
I might cry.
Now we're in for 6 weeks of holding. We're in for 6 weeks. But if and when it happens, that means Shalene gets to open and clone herself. So if you don't know, when you hold 2-star for 6 weeks, you literally get to clone your account and place it anywhere in your genealogy. This is huge for growing income. So
yeah, we do.
Yeah. Awesome. Congrats, ladies. You guys are all rocking it.
And the thing that I love is like, we have a little chat pod because we knew we were going for this goal together. And I'm like, guys, both diamond, like locking it in this week. You made it happen. And we were like, hey, now got to hold for 6 weeks. And they were like, no, now we're going for 1-star each. Like, it was just like, no, we're going for it. If we're in it, like, let's go. And you guys light me up. So anyways, I'm pumped. This is so cool.
And I just got one more too while we're on here. I don't think Tyler's on the call. I know he's going to be hopping on or trying to hop on, but he is brand new and just kind of getting out of his comfort zone, and actually has his first coach share a cart out who's supposed to be completing it any minute now. And he's got another 3 coaches on the work. So he is absolutely crushing it. And
just opened an Instagram account.
Yeah,
and like all the things.
He is brand new to this technology stuff. So he's really like just diving in, like no water wings or nothing. He's just diving in. So I'm super proud of him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so amazing. I'm so proud of you guys and just so happy for you. I know that it means a lot. And like Trish, just your reaction, I know how much it means to you to like work your business, but I also know how much it means to you to be able to help Shalene and Jer with theirs. So just watching your reaction, I know it's more about Shalene going into qual than it is about you even getting your diamond back. So that's what this is all about, you guys. Like, I just watching your guys' reactions just kind of lights me up. Anyway, any other recognition?
Well, I have some. How the hell do you follow that shit? Okay, so obviously I couldn't do this by myself. I have a team under me who has been completely wonderful and fantastic and very patient with me. I've also been able to hop into having Jer as a leader. And Jer is the lead of our team cup. And Him in my inbox scares me more than his ego. Honestly, it does. I love you, Jer. I will make fun of you day in and day out. However, Jer holds me accountable and pushes me really freaking hard, and I don't say no to him. So, Jer, thank you, because I don't think I could have got that diamond back without you. My team cup is amazing. My group, my team is amazing. I have gotten like Cresta and I did it last year together, and when she messaged me this year, she said, you know, I need to make it up for you from last year. And I was like, well, let's do it. I'm with you. Like, let's get it going. And Cresta has shown up tremendously. Steph has shown up like I've never seen a new coach show up before. Tyler, somebody that I would probably, that I can relate to on so many levels. Like, you know, he's just coming out of the gates, like with freaking fire under his ass. Like, it's a wonderful team. But my personal sponsored coaches, I have to say, like, Britt, back to Emerald again. And that's a big deal for her, for somebody that's kind of stepped out of it for a bit and now has stepped right back in. For her to get that back is huge, which obviously is what put us, our team, into 2-star qual. Oh man, frickin' hot mess. Go figure. Go frickin' figure. And Teresa Westrick has been with me since pretty much the beginning. I fed her to Shorty, and I was like, Shorty's gonna whip you into shape. And Teresa was scared, but Teresa has learned that Shorty is the most wonderful person, and she's not as scary as she seems. And on day one, on February 1st, Teresa hit SC2. And I'm like, when Shorty messaged me, I was like, you work magic, Shorty. Shorty, you work magic. You were amazing. Teresa, I'm so freaking proud of you, and I do not tell you enough. I'm done because I'm really tired.
I love that, Trish. I love that. I'm gonna cry, so no words. Anybody else? I saw a few people take themselves off mute, so jump in.
I'm gonna go next. Okay, I do not want to get emotional, but I know I'm going to. So thank you to Jaren, Shalene, Tara, Trish, like everyone, my team behind me. I am so honored to be part of this team. It has been a really hard friggin' year, but I know if I didn't have you guys that I wouldn't have been able to do this. So I am very, very honored to have, okay. I'm honored to have you guys in my back corner, like so much. In saying that, I want to recognize Caitlin. She is my new coach. She is absolutely fire, and I am so freaking proud of her. She hit Emerald in her first month of coaching and SC12. Like, absolutely incredible. She deserves all the recognition. She's like, what do I need to do? I'm like, 1, 2, 3. She's like, done. Like, anything she just does, and she goes above and beyond, and she's just amazing. She's absolutely amazing. So I'm so proud of her for hitting Emerald, and we wouldn't have been able to do 2-star qual if she didn't hit that. So yes, I'm very thankful for that. And thank you to Tara for taking her as well under your belt for Team Cup and teaching her as well. So thank you for everything, guys.
I love it. I think I love most that you said we wouldn't have been able to do 2-star qual. We wouldn't have been able to do 2-star qual is huge. That language, guys, is huge, because it's not an I business, it's a we business. And the fact that you just said that, Becca, is like, that's what this is about. So thank you for saying that. Anybody else have recognition? This is like, guys, oh my goodness. I have like, okay.
I do.
Yeah, go for it.
First of all, we got to welcome some new coaches. You probably saw it come through the page today. And there's just even more than that. Like you guys can welcome Megan. You might see her on the call right now. She's been thinking about coaching. and back and forth, and she's ready to go. And she has some really amazing clients that are the challengers you want and that are having results. So you know how inspiring that is when you really start changing people's lives. So welcome, Megan. Also welcome, Jackie, we have been working out together for 4 years. Everybody in that group knows that Jackie is a coach. And now Jackie knows she's a coach. So I'm super excited for Jackie. Kelly, my cousin, she's actually Rob's cousin. We're through marriage. Again, someone who's just been boxing and doing all these great things and has had such a great year, and just is striving to always help people through her social media. And so this is just amazing to have such a big amount of inspiring coaches be jumping on so early in this month, when this month is going to be a huge month, if you can see what's already happening. And I'm going to welcome Julia as well. For Ashley, this is Ashley's new coach, Julia. Again, challengers, right? Challengers are the people getting results. We had a one-on-one today, me and Julia, an action plan getting started. And she's just the vibe we all need and want. She's ready to go. And I'm just super excited to see what's already unfolding for the Meltdown Moms at the start of the month. Also, Megan has like ridiculous PV. I'm just going to say it, 458, super proud of her. That's just a lot of great clients she has. I have to shout out Rachel for a second because she is helping run a team cup. Last time Team Cup came, she was in a Team Cup, and now this time around, she has done what a leader does and what you do to grow yourself. And I'm super proud of Rachel. They're having great conversations, and she's got great things lined up this month as well. I think that's it. I just want to say, super proud of you guys for locking in that 2-star, these diamonds, these emeralds so early in the year. It's so important. We all kind of reset at the start of the year, and it pulls you down for a second, and you start to question everything you're doing, but this is just the nature of how it goes. So the faster we can lock in these emeralds, these diamonds, these 1-star, 2-stars, the better the year is going to be, guys. So let's do this so hard. I'm excited for Fam Jam. You guys got me lit.
Kaylee, my girl, oh my gosh, you are like back. You are on fire. And can I just say that it happens? And what you just said at the end there, that happens in this business where you have these ups and downs, and it can be a roller coaster in any business, right? Anything you are trying to do, there's always these ups and downs. Your perseverance and your grit and your determination to make shit happen, like, I'm here for it. And I just want to shout you out because I see it in you and I see that fire in your eyes. And I'm just so proud of everything that you're doing, and you're rising again. And I'm so pumped.
I heard it in your voice.
He leaned over. He was like, oh,
she's back.
Yeah.
She's back. Watch out.
Proud of you.
Yeah. Good job, Kales.
And we're going to, we have to head off because it is Kip's birthday. I promise we go off, but I do want to say a massive thank you to Shorty for taking on this call for us this evening. I can't wait to catch the recording of this. You guys are absolutely incredible. And like, we're so lucky to be able to just like not skip a beat and just continue on with things, because there's so many of you in here who are just ready to step up for not just us, but anyone else on the team that needs it. So thank you,
love you guys.
Shorty.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm
gonna hop in really quickly because
go ahead,
because Kaylee, if you know, Kaylee and I work together. I'm super proud of her. Kaylee, I want to shout you out for personal volume 1532, killing it. Kaylee is diamond. She's at SC2. She also runs Rob's account with her, so she's also slaying it in there. I know that Kaylee's had a lot on her plate lately, and just to hear you speak, like they said, it's really nice to see that in you. And I know that a lot of you guys know, but Kaylee actually pushes me through the hardest times. We're battling through a lot of things in our personal life right now, and Kaylee's always the person that, although I'm her upline, I look at her as my own mentor. So I want to shout you out for that, because I think that it's really important to notice that you're always pushing me through the hard times, and it means a lot to me, and always supporting me through all these roller coasters that our family's going on right now. And it's really hard to maintain a personal life, business, and also have a career where you have all these plans that you thought you're going to do, and they all change. So Shalene and Jer, before you hop off, Jer, you've also been in my inbox. I'm doing everything I can to get Diamondback. So Shalene, that I can try to help you also get to that 2-star. Alicia is about to go Emerald again, which is actually going to help us as long as I hit the SC that I need to. So anyone on this call, feel free to hold me accountable. I definitely need that extra push right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely struggling on my gaps, and I'm going to bust my ass to help you guys get there. And yeah, so shout out to Kaylee for getting your diamond, and Alicia for going to get your Emerald back as of tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Shaw. It's so important to, again, recognize that this really is a business that's not, anybody above anybody else. It really is a level line, and no one is above anyone else in this business. So anyone that says this is a pyramid, they all need to be on this call, because we're all here, you guys. So always remember that. Someone might be a different rank than you, but it doesn't mean they're any higher up or any more special. Everyone is important on this team, and Jer and Shalene have fostered that in this space. So always remember that, you guys. So thanks for sharing that, Shaw. Okay, I'm just going to quickly, very, very quickly, I just wanted to give Kiara, Carmelina, and Emily just a quick little shout out, because they are pushing really hard this month. And they all have conversations going on with potential new coaches. And I just see them really working the business. And I think that that's super important. You can be in your stories and in your posts and all of that kind of stuff, but really doing that deep down, the conversations, and really working the business hard. I just wanted to give them a little bit of recognition. Kiara and my brand new coach, Carla, are already on the board with SC2 so early in the month, which is crazy good. I have another brand new coach who is at SC2. She got it right at the end of last month, but I haven't been able to recognize her. So 2 brand new coaches already right out of the gates with SC2, which is amazing. And a special shout out to Carrie. She's not on the call, but she's been rocking YouTube videos. So she's decided to try the YouTube platform and sharing it in her Facebook and Instagram as well. And her videos are amazing. And she's opened up her own Facebook group, which was huge for her. So she has her own challenge group going, which I know was a major deal for her. So I'm hoping she watches this recording so that she can hear that I'm super proud. I tell her all the time, but then I'm super proud of her for taking that on, and she goes live in there all the time. So really proud of her for doing that, because that's a big step. Okay. Wow, guys, that was 20 minutes of recognition. This team is on fire. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, I want to talk to you guys today. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tara, but everyone calls me Shorty. So don't even bother calling me Tara, because no one will know who you're talking about unless you say T for Tara McMurder or Shorty for me. If you say Tara, T and I won't look, because we're not used to those names. So I am Shorty. I, again, for those of you who don't know, work full-time as a lawyer. I have 2 kids. My daughter's 13, will be 14 in April. My son is 11. My husband has his own business, always has been self-employed. So he's in and out of the house. So to add on another business, this coaching business on top of that, was at first, I was like, no way, there's no way I can fit this in. And I really started slowly, very slowly. And I think that's just one of my biggest regrets in this business, is how slow I started, because I was afraid to take on too much. I was afraid that it would be too much for me, that I wouldn't be able to fit it in, and that I would quote unquote fail. I didn't even know what success in the business meant. So how can you fail something you don't even know what success means, right? Because guys, we define our own success, right? So you define what your own success is. So you're not failing unless you've defined what success means for you, and you don't know what that means in this business when you're first starting out. I didn't. So I was too scared to do anything. And once I kind of stepped out of that, it was like, okay, you know what? I've got to take this and run with it now. I had to figure out how it worked for me. I'm going to preface this with, what works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. but I'm going to tell you how I fit it all in with my schedule. I'm going to give you kind of my top, I was trying to think of like the top 5 things that I can say that I do that allow me to be able to work this business in my time that I have. I think one of the biggest things that isn't on my list is really just consistency. Just remaining consistent with the routine that I've scheduled or that I've planned for myself. So I've had, guys, honest, I've been doing this business for 2.5 years. I've had the same routine the entire time. It's just been a matter of, I've increased the amount of invites I do, and I've added on to my plate as my team has grown. But as my team has grown, it's been more time devoted to the business, but it hasn't changed my routine any, right? So if you want what this business has to offer you, you'll create the time to be able to do it. So we don't find time, you guys. We create time. I really had to audit my schedule and figure out where the time was that I could devote this business. Because when I actually did that, I was like, holy, I spend a lot of time doing a whole lot of nothing. And you don't realize that until you actually audit your day. And you're like, okay, well, I slept into the last possible second and I played Candy Crush forever. You just don't realize how much time you spend doing things that aren't serving you or that you can be actually working your business. Second thing that I want to say before I get into my 5 tips is, if you want to make it work for you, there has to be some sacrifice. There has to be some sacrifice. If you're not willing to sacrifice, that's okay, because we run the business the way we want to run it. But don't expect to see your business going forward. It's going to stay stagnant. Okay. So until I started to sacrifice things, my business was stagnant. So what do I mean by sacrifice? I don't mean you have to spend every waking hour doing this business. But if it means that it's half an hour less with your kids a day, then it's half an hour less with your kids a day. If it means giving up watching Netflix for 2 hours every night, then that's what it means. There has to be some sacrifice in the things that you're doing in your day that you can or are willing to sacrifice. Okay. So that's the key. It has to be something you're willing to sacrifice, right? Like for me, I do spend less actual time with my kids, but that means that the time that I do devote to them is super intentional. Okay. So before I spent more time with them, I wasn't really spending time with them because I was scrolling on my phone or playing games, or I wasn't actually with them. They didn't have all of me. Now, because I have to be super intentional with my time, I have to make sure that that time that I'm with them is very intentional. Okay. So I just wanted to start off with that. Have your why, last thing before I jump in, your why has to be front and center at all times. So anytime you feel like scrolling on your phone and putting your business to the side, go pull out that why. Remember why you're doing this. If you don't know why you're doing it, you have to find that why, and it has to mean something to you. So my why when I first started the business wasn't super strong. I didn't really have a why. I just kind of did it as something to do. And I realize now that that's why I took it slow, because I didn't really have that why. And then I started to slowly do for my kids and it wasn't until I had a real, and this is for another call, but it wasn't until I had a very real deep down why that I didn't give everything I had to this business. You have to have that why, and it has to be deep. It has to make you cry. It has to be the thing that when you feel like not working the business because you don't have time, that's going to make you create that time for the business. So make sure that's always front and center in your mind. Post it wherever you need to post it. That's probably the most important thing that's going to make you create that time, is your why you want to do it. If you don't have it, start thinking about it. You don't have to have it right away. So for the newer coaches that are watching this call, you don't have to have your why right away. But if you're wondering why I spend the time on the business and how I spend it, it's because of my why. Okay, so 5 tips that I use to fit it in. Number 1, prep your week. Prep your week, you guys, like super important. So much like Shalene, I have a planner. I use, thanks Danielle, my passion planner. I used to use the Rise planner. It wasn't my favorite. Wasn't my favorite. So I've started this one this year and I actually really love it. but I block my days. So this is what a week looks like for me. The pink is my legal work. The orange are calls. Yellow is personal time. Blue is beach body time. So you'll see that there's not a whole lot of blue in here. You'll see that everything else takes up my time. So there's not a lot of time that I really am devoting to the business that's planned and scheduled out. There are times where there's nothing. That's where I know, okay, so if I have to do some calls with one-on-one calls with my coaches, it really helps you see where your blocks in your day are that you can work your business. Your non-negotiables go in first. So the very first thing I write down is workout. Every time I prep my week, workout goes in first. It's a non-negotiable. Kids appointments for myself, those go in, and calls, because I treat calls, team calls, any type of call in this business as like an appointment, right? It's like a business meeting. I can't miss it or I get fired. That's the way I treat this business. I treat it as if I don't show up, I get fired and I'm going to fire myself, right? Like it's my business, but I treat it that way. So calls go in, workout goes in, my morning routine goes in, and any appointments for the kids. Then I put in my 9 to 5 because I know when it is, right? Like I have to block that time off. You'll see in the middle of my days, there were blue. Those are my breaks and my lunches. So I work the business on my breaks and my lunch, and it's blocked off, right? So I make sure that I'm blocking that in. What else do I do in there? I identify then where can I fit in my business. So where I see the gaps, that's where I fit in my business. Happens to be the majority of the time on the weekends and in the evenings. Yeah, those are family times for me, of course. Weekends and evenings are family times, but that's where my sacrifice comes in. So I have family time blocked off. Before this call, I spent 45 minutes playing with my son, and it was an intentional 45 minutes. And then here I'm ready and I'm here for the call. So he had all of me for 45 minutes. He didn't need me for an hour and a half. He didn't need me for 2 hours. He had all of me for 45 minutes rather than half of me for 2 hours. So I schedule that in my calendar. I knew there was a call tonight, so I had yellow blocked before the call so that I made sure that I spent the time with my family. So it's really, really important to have that visual. If you're not doing this, it's really important. I do it on a Sunday. I actually block off planning time. I have it blocked off in my calendar. I take my planning time on Sunday morning, and that's when I plan my week. And then I try to stick to it as best I can. Doesn't always work out like that, but it helps to have that visual so you can actually see what time you have. So that's a key. For me, seeing it color coded is just, it just looks pretty, and it just keeps, it's easier for me to see. I know what color stands for what, so I know what I should be doing at any given time just by glancing over. Second thing, organize your business. I know that a lot of people, like even a lot of my coaches I've talked to, and they said, I really need to like get a handle on organization. Here's how I'll tell you how I organize my business. Having some sort of system in how you run your business is going to make things go faster. So that's something that might take me 2 hours if I'm disorganized, may only take me half an hour if I'm organized. So when you are pressed for time, having that organization is going to make things go so much faster. And then you don't sit down and go, okay, well, I have an hour blocked off and I have no idea what I'm doing. And you're fumbling around with your papers and then you waste 45 minutes trying to figure out where to start, right? Whereas if you're organized and you have it all together and you have it all mapped out and planned out, you're going to sit down and get down to work in that time that you have blocked, right? If I have an hour at lunch, I don't have 45 minutes to waste to figure out where I'm starting. So I have, tried to keep everything here. This, guys, this is like my Bible right here, this little dollar store notebook. Since February of 2019, I have been using these notebooks to organize my business. Like literally, this is it. It is not complicated. I'm a paper and pen girl, so this works for me. I'll tell you if you're not a paper and pen kind of gal, other ways you can organize it. But honestly, I track all of my invites, I track all of my follow-ups, and I track my connections and conversations in this notebook. So it's all in one place. So if I have to jump out to an appointment for my kids, this comes with me and I can work from my phone with this. It's quick, fits in my purse, off I go. When they're in their appointment, I can work my business, right? So what I do, just so that, and people who have known me for a while know this, I break my page down into 4 columns. I have the date, I have a column for name, I have a column for where I invited them from, I have a column for when I followed up, and I have a column for what their response was, okay? This, every time I invite somebody, their name goes down and where I invited them. And I keep a running list. Like, I'm almost done this book. I keep a running list and I literally write down every person I invite. As they respond to me, if they're responding in my hour that I've sat down to work, I ignore it. I'm not, that's not my time for responding back to people. This is my inviting time. So if they respond back, I wait until the time I've blocked to respond back to them, which is usually later on in the day. But what I sometimes will do is I'll screenshot it and circle it and keep it on my phone so that I don't forget to respond back to them. Some people just leave it like highlighted. My highlights get pushed way down because I'm inviting 15, 20 people a day. So the highlight will be like way down on my phone and I don't want to go look for it. So if I screenshot it and circle it, it's in my photos. It's there, it's present, so that when I go to reply to them, it's there. It's there for me to see in my photos. So when they reply, I'll write down their response in this column of the book. This way I know what their response was. If they ask me for more information, I'll write request info with a red star. My eye's gonna go to that immediately. Oh, that person requested information. Later on, if they don't sign up, they're gonna be the first person that I invite for the next challenge group because they already asked for information. That's why I do the red star to cue me. So if they said no money, guess what? Next flash sale, I'm gonna go look for all the people that said no money, no money, no money, no money. They're gonna be the first people I invite to the flash sale. If I see no time, next time there's a program that's only 5 days a week or 20-minute workouts, they're gonna be the first people I invite because it's no time, no time. Guess what? You had no time last time? Perfect, we've got a great program for you coming out, right? If I was around when Lift 4 came out, I would have said, guys, perfect program for you. It's only 4 days a week. So it's really important to track their responses and it's all in one place for me. Then what happens is I go through, I do my 20 invites. You don't have to do 20 invites, you guys, by the way. It's just I've built my business to the point where I can manage to do 20 invites a day, but I'll do my 20 invites. Then when I go to my follow-ups, now I've got, starting right back at the top again, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up to anybody who didn't respond. Okay. And if I sent them info, because it says request info, then I'll follow up with them too. I literally work from this list every day. I have a running list of the same people every single day, and I just add to it. So today, let's go to my today page. So these are the people I invited today. You'll see all the columns are blank, right? But my follow-ups, I'm back here on another page. These are my follow-ups. So tomorrow I'm going to start here with my follow-ups and just follow up with all the people where there's no X or no, like, absolutely not, F off, I don't want to do this, right? So, but that's what I do. And then when I'm done this book, guess what I'm going to do? Because the next program is going to be coming out. I'm going to start all the way back at day 1. Anybody that hasn't been highlighted, this will give you an idea, guys. If you guys get frustrated with people not responding, 2 people on this page signed up. So don't get frustrated with the no's, because if I go back and show you my other books, now these are highlighted because people come back and they'll say, okay, I'm ready now. Don't get frustrated with the no's. If I'm doing 20 invites a day and I'm getting 20 people to commit, that's amazing. I'm not. That's why I do so many invites, because that's my track record, you guys, but I'm still hitting SC. So power in numbers. But this is my Bible. This is the way I work my business, just with this book right here. It's not complicated, but it's my system and it works, right? Having a system, it's all organized in one place. So I'm not fumbling and looking around and trying to figure it out. In terms of tracking my followers and the people I'm connecting with, it's in the same book. These pages are two-sided. On the other side, I've broken it up into people who comment on my stories and posts, or watch my stories and like my posts, people who follow me, and people who respond to the comments I leave on their posts. So now I always have a running list of people to invite from, always in this same book. Okay, so on one page I'm inviting, on the other page I'm keeping track of all the people I connect with. I every day have a running list of people to invite from because I am connecting with people every single day. So the minute somebody responds back to me, if I comment on their picture, guess what? If I'm in the middle of something because I work all day, I screenshot it quickly, put a circle around it, phone down, back to work. It took me 2 seconds. So that when I go and I work in my planned working time, I have those people. Didn't take me any extra time out of my work day. I have them already documented. I just add them to this list. And then this is my list to invite from. I always have a list of people to invite from. So that's my organizational method, guys. There's no method to my madness. Like, this is it. It's a dollar store notebook, but it's organized and it works for me. If you're electronic based and you're not a pen and paper kind of person, Teamsy is a good app for keeping track because it'll actually cue you for when you should follow up with people. You can set follow-up reminders. My brain doesn't work like that, but Teamsy is a really good thing to look into. I used it briefly to try it. Wasn't for me, but it works for a lot of people who can't keep organized this way because it will actually send you reminders and you can put responses right in there. The second one, guys, is our back office actually has a tracking system. I don't know if you know that, but in Grow My Business, in Manage Contacts, you can actually start adding prospects in there. Okay, so there's a section that will say, I think it says add prospects or add contact. So those can be non-clients and you can mark down what their conversation was with them. So you can actually use our Coach Back Office as a way to track. So keeping organized is like super important, but that's the way I do it. It may not work for you. It's the way it works for me. I've been doing it for 2 years now and I won't deviate from it because it works for me. And it makes my working time lickety split. I can sit down for half an hour and get my invites and follow-ups done because I always have a list. I'm not trying to search for people. Third tip, do your business building activities first. When I have time during my day, I don't want to spend 45 minutes of my hour blocked making pretty graphics. That's not going to push my business forward. When I sit down to work in my blocked time, the very first thing I do is invite. Next thing I do is follow up, or sometimes I reverse those depending on my mood. And then I will respond to people. Okay, so if I have a planned hour at lunch, that's what I start with. Any extra time I have left over, then I'll do the other things. All right. It's really important that you're starting with the things that are going to push your business forward. If it takes you 45 minutes to do a post, that's okay. Don't do that in your blocked working time. Do your invites and follow-ups first, and then do your post. Okay. Do that, before you go to bed. You've got 10, 15 minutes before you go to bed. I'm sure you do. You're probably watching TV. So either do it while you're watching TV or watch TV for 15 minutes less, but do that then. When you sit down for your blocked time, get the invites and follow-ups done. Don't spend all your time, or I don't, this is about me, I don't care what you guys do, but I don't spend all my time watching stories. I used to be one of those people that hated to see the highlight button on people's names. And I used to just tap through everybody's stories just to clear that highlight. I had to let go of that. It was the OCD in me. I had to let it go because as I was adding followers, I'm like, I have all these people and I have all their stories and I'm trying to watch and tap through all of them. And it was starting to take me half an hour. And I'm like, oh my, I can't do that anymore. Stop watching people's stories because you don't realize that you can get sucked right in and be there for half an hour, 45 minutes, just watching people's stories. It's okay to watch other coaches, you guys. It's not terrible to do that. What I was finding is that I was trying to be those coaches. So sometimes if you're going to spend all your time watching other coaches, you're going to take on the things that they say and they do, and it's not going to be authentic to you. I wasn't being authentic to me. I want people to follow me because of me. I want them to join me because of me, not because I'm trying to be like Becca or Yolanda or Kiata or Kaylee. Like, I want them to follow me because of me. And I find that if I'm following other coaches, I'm like, oh, I like that. I'm going to do that. Right. So I stopped spending all my time watching stories. I'll glance through, I'll cheer people on, but I try not to watch too much. It's okay to watch for ideas, but if you're spending all your time doing that instead of actually working your business, that's why you don't have time to work your business. Okay. Let's talk morning routines. Morning routines are not going to work for everybody. I said that for a really long time. I was a get up at the last possible second and then rush through my morning. And it was not good for me because then I was doing my workout at night and then I didn't have any time. I ran out of time because by the time I had dinner, did my workout, had my shower, spent the time with my kids, I was like, where the heck did the night go? So I had to switch things up. I had to figure it out. So I decided that I was going to start getting up earlier. I started with just 15 minutes a day per week. So I got up early, 15 minutes earlier one week, and then another 15 minutes earlier the next week until I got to my desired time. I get up at 4:45 now. I do my morning routine, my personal development, my meditation, my first initial stories in the morning, and then my workout all before 7 a.m. That knocks off so much of your business activity tracker. I also do my connections in the morning because it's the hardest thing for me. So I get that right out of the way in the morning while my brain is fresh because I don't want to do it later because I know I'll put it off. As soon as the day starts, I'm like, I'm going to put this off. So I do it in the morning. That's all done. You know how good it feels to knock off all of those boxes on your business activity tracker before 7 o'clock in the morning? It feels so good. You're starting your day going, oh, all I have left is invites, follow-ups, and the rest of my stories. Awesome. It feels good. So if it works for you, it's not always going to work for, people that have to be out of the house at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. But whatever your morning routine is, if you work shift work, maybe see if you can wake up a little bit earlier before your shift. Treat that as your morning routine. But it is possible to do. Coming from the person who said I would never have a morning routine because I can't wake up earlier in the morning, it is possible to do. So just try it out. You can get so much done while your brain is fresh before the day has gotten in the way. We let so much of what happens in the day affect us. I'm grateful for this call because my day was a crap show. There's kids around. It was not a good day for me today. But I knew we had team calls. So I'm like, okay, no, I'm going to be good. That's going to turn things around. But if we didn't have a team call tonight and I didn't get my business activities done earlier, I would have been like, forget it, screw it. I'm not doing it because my day got in the way and I let it affect me. So if I get it out of the way in the morning, just like my workout, I'm more inclined to get it done. So it was a game changer, total game changer for me. Just think about kind of psychologically getting all the things you don't, if it's invites for you, get up, do it in the morning. Just get it out of the way, while you're fresh and, do your workout, then do your invites because you're on a high after your workout. So you just kind of want to go. So give yourself an extra, maybe 20 minutes in the morning to get your invites out and then you'll feel so much better. Okay. That's the fourth thing. The fifth thing, you guys, communicate and ask for help. That was a hard one for me. I am a super independent person. I always have been. I am not the kind of person that asks for help. I still struggle with that, significantly struggle with asking for help, but it will help you to ask for help when you need it from your family, from your upline, from your team, whoever it is. Ask for help. If you're drowning, don't retreat. Right? It's so easy to just retreat and say, forget it, this is too hard. Somebody on the team can probably say something that will click with you and you might go, oh, yeah, that would save me a whole ton of time, right? So ask for help if it's getting hard. Ask for help if you're drowning. It's hard for me to ask my husband for help. I don't like asking my husband for help. because I can do it better. That was my mentality in my life growing up. I'll do it better. So I'll just do it myself. But when you have a business and you have goals and you have a full-time job and you have kids, sometimes you have to ask for help. Ask your mom, ask your sister, like we got lots of single moms on our team. God bless you all. But just ask for help from somebody. You need help with a post, you need help with a story idea, you need help with something. There's always somebody. That's the beauty of this team. You always have somebody to go to. So ask for help, communicate your goals. Communicate your goals with your family. That was a big one for me. As soon as I started communicating my goals with my family and celebrating my wins with them, when I said to my kids, Mommy has to work right now because she's going for her big goal, they understood. They understood. Your kids understand more than you think, I think sometimes. And, when I was going for a big goal, the morning that I was going to hit it, my kids would get up and say, Mom, did you hit that goal? Right? I involved them. My husband knows if I'm pushing for a qual, if I'm pushing for something, my husband knows. Do we fight during that time frame? Absolutely, because I'm a big bundle of nerves. We for sure fight. But at least he understands because I've communicated it to him. I've communicated to him what this business means to me, what it means to our family. And so when we're fighting, I have to then remind him and say, remember what I told you? Remember when I told you this? Okay, just remember that. So communicate that. The communication side of things is huge. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to work your business on your own and not supporting the people who are, or not involving the people who are closest to you, they're not going to understand when you have to say to them, okay, I'm going to have to just skip dinner tonight because I'm in a zone and I just really have to work through that. I just really want to get through this. Then they'll understand because they know what it means to you. Okay. So really communicate and ask for help. The last thing that I wanted to just kind of touch on is I've said a lot of things today and a lot of people say to me, I don't know how you do it, Tara. I don't know how you fit it all in. A ton of people say that to me. I don't know how you do it. Guys, I'm not a unicorn. I struggle. I just wanted to make sure I struggle on the daily with trying to keep it all together. This week has been a disaster for me, like a total disaster. I have not been able to keep to the schedule that I planned. I have not been able to stick to my times that I wanted to do things. I've been snappy with my family. It's just not been a good week for me. My full-time job has taken over. And normally on my breaks, it resets me when I'm able to work this business because this business brings me so much joy. That's why I block off time during my day in my breaks to do it. Because when I'm stressed with my full-time legal job, I need something to just reset me to get me through the afternoon. That's why I do it. I need that break in the middle of my day. I haven't been able to do it. I wasn't able to do it today. And I did it after work, but it wasn't as good as it usually is. And then I was stressed out and it was just not a good night. This week has just not been good. So it's not always going to go according to plan. I'm not saying that if you plan your week out and you organize your business and all these things that you're going to magically hit emerald or diamond or 1-star diamond. You might not, but it's going to allow you to be able to fit in the time to grow your business to the point that it's going to happen for you. It's not magic. You have to work for it. I'm just giving you the tips and the tools that I use and have used to allow me to keep that consistency going, to show up on days when I don't want to push me forward on days like today, when at 5 o'clock when my workday was done, I wanted nothing more than to go lay down because I was exhausted. But I knew that I had to work my business and I couldn't let it go. And Asher, your face right now is just making me smile so much. Yeah. Hi, buddy. So I knew that I had to get it done. So I was just at 5 o'clock, I was like, nope, just sit down, just get it done. My husband called me for dinner. God bless him. He made dinner, but he called me for dinner. And I was like, just a second, I'm just finishing up. And he understood. He's like, okay, yep. And I got it done. Then I was able to sit and play with my son and not have to stress about the fact that my work still had to be done because I just sat at my desk for 1 more hour and just got it done. So when these things happen, when it's not going according to plan, we have two choices. We We can get overwhelmed and retreat, or we can take a deep breath and say, why am I doing this? And then just do it, right? Those are the things. When things get really hairy for me, like today, I take out my pad of paper. I always have a pad of paper on my desk, but I take out my pad of paper and I just write down the things that I didn't get done that day that I want to get done. I just write them down out of my mind, write it down. I know I'm not going to get to them today, which is going to stress me out because my OCD says all the boxes have to be checked, but I can't right now. I did my business building activities, then I just write everything down. And that's where I start the next day after my business building activities are done, because the next day is a new day. And it might be a better day, and you might have more time, and you might have that freedom of, not having the stressful day that you had today. So I have a whole list of things I didn't get to today. They're all written down, and tomorrow I'll start checking them off. And if tomorrow doesn't go as planned, then Friday I'll start checking them off. Those aren't my business building activities. Those are just the things that I wanted to get done. Okay. I fold laundry on team calls. That's what I do. I'm listening and I'm folding. I'm not stressed about laundry getting done. I'll do it during team calls. I'll let it pile up and I'll do it during a team call, right? Like there's
from the
always
beginning. This isn't something new. Like
no,
you've done that from the
I know.
beginning.
You've seen me. But sometimes, I'm not going to let the fact that I have laundry piled up stress me out. I know there's a team call once a week. I'll fold laundry once a week on team call, right? Like I don't let things like that stress me out. Just prioritize the things that are important to you that you want to get done in a day. Prioritize those. Everything else goes to the bottom of the list and it'll get done. So I try and prioritize one thing that I've been avoiding, one thing that's fun, and one thing that's necessary every single day. So I always try to do 3 things a day. And one of them is always something I've been avoiding. And that can be personal, business, work, like my legal job, my kids, like whatever it is, that's what I prioritize for the day. And I try and do 3 of them. And I'm putting it off can be your invites, right? Like that can be invites for you if that's something you've been putting off. But I always prioritize 3 things in a day. And it's always something hard that I've been putting off, something necessary, something fun. So hopefully that was helpful, you guys. If you guys have any questions about how I do things, I was not watching the chat. So if you guys had any questions, you can take yourself off mute. I'm an open book. I'm happy to share my tricks, or if you wanted me to expand on anything, I'm happy to do that too. They're so quiet. Thanks for sticking on with me.
Hey, Shorty. Oh, it's loud. Remember when we...
I could be loud too if you want more loud.
We can all be loud. Remember when I first started coaching and I met Tara and she was like, I'm a lawyer. And then I was like, oh my God, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer. And she looked me dead square in the face and was like, it's the only thing I don't want to be anymore. And I was like, I didn't know the power of what was going to unfold and how you change people's lives, and how when your passion is driving you, you're going to do whatever it takes to be happy and love your job. But I just always remembered, like, I was like, what? That seems like the greatest job, like whatever. Like, no. Also, when I was like, I love your abs, and you're like, thanks, it took me 2 years. And I was like, I would just say that to my face like that.
I think I call it like it is, you guys. I call it like it is. Yeah. And that's a big driving force for me, guys, in why I work my business so hard, because I became a lawyer because it was what I thought, because somebody else made me feel like I had to do it. And it's not something I really wanted to do. And I didn't realize that until I had something else in front of me that made me feel so good. Doing my legal work does not make me feel good. It made me feel like crap today. And it made me snap on my husband, and it made me snap on my kids. And when I look back, it's made me snap on my husband and snap on my kids more times than I can count. And it just is not something that has ever brought me any sort of passion. So on days that I don't want to, and like, it's a big income that I have to replicate with this business. So I either stay stuck in something I hate, or I make the sacrifices now to push my business where I need it to go in order to quit the job that brings me absolutely nothing in my life. So that's what drives me. And maybe it's because I have to make so much to replicate the income, but it's why I don't quit. I can't quit, because if I quit, everything I've worked so hard for is going to be down in, like, it's going to be out the window. If I don't stay consistent, I'm going to move backwards and I'm going to lose all the traction that I've been gaining. So I have no choice based on what my goals are, but to move forward and create that time and make sure I stay organized and get back up when things get hard and it doesn't go according to plan. So that's why I do it. Nicole, I feel like you asked a question.
You did ask a question in the chat, but I just wanted to say the fact that you actually like acknowledge on social media that you hate being a lawyer, that you like really want to tap out of that job, is truly something to be admired. But Danielle, Nicole did ask a question.
My boss and staff follow me. It was a big deal for me to actually acknowledge that on social media. It was big, like for me, because I knew that at some point my boss is going to pay attention. He's going to see that and he may just fire me. But, you know, but I had to put it out there, right? Like I can't hide it anymore. So when I block my business time in my planner, do I have a note of what you want to get done? Okay. So some people do. Some people will say invites, follow-ups, like they'll actually block out the time to do their invites, follow-ups. Because my days are so like flip-floppy sometimes, and I know it doesn't always go according to plan. I don't want to say I'm going to sit down and do invites at this time and then follow-ups at this time, because sometimes my mood is so off. Like I'm not going to do invites if I just had a client meeting and I'm angry and I'm going to quit my job mode, right? So I'll start with follow-ups because those are easy for me, right? It's just a quick, hey, did you think any more about my last message? Like that's all my follow-up messages are, you guys. So I'll start with follow-ups to kind of get me eased in. And then I'll go into invites because now I'm like, okay, I felt good. I just followed up with a bunch of people. Yeah, I remember this person asked for info, and then I'm pumped. Then I'll do invites. So for me, that doesn't work for me. I've tried that before. It's why, no problem, Trish. It's why I have a hard time on power hours, because I can't follow the structured power hour because in my brain works in a very different way. And I have a hard time following along. So I kind of just, if I'm on a power hour with somebody that's led, I'll listen to what they're saying for pointers, but I'll really just kind of do it on my time. Like I'll use that for next time. And then I'll just kind of work the power hour just in my own way. But I acknowledge that, and I know that, and I recognize it, and I've tried them. They just don't work for me. So I don't do that, but I know a lot of coaches that do, and it works for them. So you kind of just have to find your groove, Nicole. If blocking specific activities in your day helps keep you focused, do it that way. If it overwhelms you, don't do it that way. Just block, like I'll just put power hour, or I'll put beach body work. And I distinguish that way. Power hour means invites, follow-ups, connections. That's what power hour means. When I put BB work, that means pretty graphics and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I distinguish between those two very different things. I have time blocked for when I do the pretty work and time blocked when I do power hour. So that's the only distinguishing factor that I make, because otherwise I get overwhelmed and that defeats the purpose of blocking it off. Does that help? Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? Guys, I stayed on time. Yay. I'm so proud of myself because I talk a lot. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys in terms of things that you can apply to your own business. Again, what works for me may not work for you, but I hope that you were able to take something out of this to, one, reassure you that you can work this business in pockets of time when you are crazy busy. If you want it bad enough, you can make it work. But also to reassure you that there are going to be days when you're a hot mess and it won't go according to the plan that you set for yourself. And when that happens, take a deep breath. Step back, take a deep breath, remember your why, sit back down and do what you got to do. Thanks so much, you guys. Thanks for staying on. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if you haven't done your invites yet, now is a good time to do it when you're pumped from team call, because I have done that before when I've been like down in the dumps all day and didn't want to do anything. I jump on a team call, I get all fired up, and then I go do invites because I want everybody to join this community because I love you guys so much. So now is a good time to pound out invites because you've just spent some time with the community and it can really kind of fuel you. So yeah, go do your invites, Kels. Okay. I'm going to let you guys all go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Have a good rest of your night.